I've pumped his tires a lot on this channel, but it's about time the world starts to realize that Bobby Witt Jr. is the best all-around baseball player on planet Earth. And I know Shohei Ohtani is a pitcher and a hitter, but what Bobby Witt Jr. does on a nightly basis for the Kansas City Royals at just 24 years of age cannot be understated. And he is such an impressive player with such an impressive resume already. And if it wasn't for Aaron Judge's historic season that he's having, Bobby Witt Jr. would be in the MVP conversation. So we'll break that down and much more on this episode of 3 Up, 3 Down. What's up, everybody? Welcome into 3 Up, 3 Down. I'm your host, Peter Vryonis, and today we're going to talk about Bobby Witt Jr. and his continued dominance. He hit another 2 home runs last night. And he plays, let me remind you, he plays in a very pitcher-friendly ballpark in Kansas City. And his season home run totals don't really show the whole picture. They don't show how much power he truly has. But I'll just kick it off with this right here. And take a look. Bobby Witt Jr., this is his Baseball Savant page. You could take a look at those numbers, and you could see how impressive he really is and how valuable he truly is. His batting value, 99th percentile. His base running value, 99th percentile. His fielding value, 99th percentile. I'm no math guy, but I think those are pretty good numbers right there. And that shows that he's an all-around ball player that can just do it all every single night for the Kansas City Royals. And he doesn't miss games. That's another understated aspect of his game. Even though he may not be have those gaudy numbers like Aaron Judge does, he doesn't get hurt, and he stays in the lineup every single day. And he is the best all-around player in baseball. There's really no conversation. You could talk about Aaron Judge as much as you want, but Bobby Witt Jr. is a force. He's a man amongst boys. And the way that he plays, the way that he leads that team, who had no expectation coming into the year, is truly unprecedented. And if it wasn't for such a small market, if he played for the Yankees, or if he played for the Dodgers, or the Red Sox, or any bigger market team than Kansas City, he would be talked about nightly. He would be heralded as the best player in baseball, which he is, in my opinion. And unfortunately, he just doesn't get that love because he plays in Kansas City, and he's not allowed to be in the same conversation as those guys amongst the casual fans. But let's take a look here. This is an account that I really like, the Skipper's View. I'll say it. Bobby Witt Jr. is the MVP of the league. Aaron Judge can have the Hank Aaron Award. And this one here, Bobby Witt Jr. currently has a .349 batting average, 33 doubles, 10 triples, 22 homers, and 25 steals. No player in Major League history has ever matched that combination. Now, it's a very obscure stat line, but, I mean, it's true. It's true. Those are numbers that you just don't see very often, and those are due in large part to the fact that he plays in Kansas City in a very pitcher-friendly ballpark, and that's triples heaven for a guy with his speed. And this right here, you can see Aaron Judge is the best hitter in baseball. I will not argue that. I won't argue that either. He is the best hitter in baseball. But Bobby Witt Jr. is the best all-around player in baseball. He is an elite runner, elite defender, at the most premium non-catcher position, hits for pop, and leads baseball in batting average. He's right, and these are his stats for the season. 162 hits, which is the most in Major League Baseball, a .349 average, a .394 on-base percentage, a .606 slugging, an OPS of 1, 99 runs, 84 RBIs as a number 2 hitter, 33 doubles, and 10 triples, which is second, and he just turned 24. So he's got the whole world ahead of him, and the Kansas City Royals realize that. They locked him up for a very long time, 11 years, and he deserved that. He's probably going to be underpaid as that contract rolls on here, and it's great that the Royals can retain a type of talent like that, and he wants to remain a Royal for the rest of his career. But man, is he a great player, and I believe that he can lead them to winning titles. And I know that it's a team sport. I know that baseball, we saw what Mike Trout can do with so little, and he never got to the playoffs once, and it was a short-lived appearance for him. And I honestly think Bobby Witt Jr. can be a better player than Mike Trout. And that's crazy to say because Trout is the best player of this generation. But the things that Bobby Witt Jr. does, he just carries that team. And yeah, they have a pretty good lineup. They have a decent lineup and a decent pitching staff, but it's all spearheaded by Bobby Witt Jr. and his brilliance on a nightly basis. I've been so impressed with him every single day out there, and there's no drop-off. There is no drop-off whatsoever, and you could see that right here. He's on the left, so you could see that he does everything at an exceptional level. Everything in the top is in the 99th percentile, and that takes into account his hitting, his base running, and his fielding. And he just does it all out there. Aaron Judge, I think he's a great player. I think he will win the MVP award. I think he deserves the MVP award for the type of numbers that he's putting up, but he's nowhere near the defender that Witt Jr. is, and he's not even in the same stratosphere in terms of base running. So I look at all that, and it just makes me wonder why we keep underrating Bobby Witt Jr. as the face of all position players. I understand that Judge plays in a massive market, and that plays into his marketability, but how can we deny the greatness of Bobby Witt Jr. at just 24 years old? I mean, it's truly remarkable what he's doing, and you could just see the bottom of that graphic. He just turned 24, and he's putting up those kinds of numbers. He's already been in the league for 3 years now, and he's just getting better and better and better. And last season, towards the end of the year, he turned into one of the premier players in baseball, and he didn't skip a beat once this year started. And that just shows how hard he's working in the offseason. It shows what kind of player he is and what kind of leader he is to lead this Kansas City Royals team, this very young Kansas City Royals team, into their next decade of baseball. But that'll wrap it up for this episode of 3 Up, 3 Down. Let me know what you think of my bold take of Bobby Witt Jr. being the best player in baseball. I don't think it's that bold, but I feel like I might get some hate in the comments section down below. But if you have any hate to leave, go ahead and do it, and I will argue and I will go toe-to-toe with you as to why Bobby Witt Jr. is the best player in baseball. But that'll wrap it up. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button as well, and make sure to tune in to tomorrow's episode of 3 Up, 3 Down. Don't know what it's going to be on yet, but you got to stay tuned for that. So hit the subscribe button so you can keep up to date with everything going on around Major League Baseball. And before we go, I want to give a quick shout out to Baseball Town as well. A huge supporter of the channel. Nothing could happen without them. So shout out to Baseball Town. They're your one-stop shop for everything that you need when it comes to baseball or softball equipment, whether it's bats, batting gloves, cleats, or gloves. I mean, they got you covered. They got the best equipment at the most competitive prices. So check them out today, and I will see you tomorrow.